You can also now watch Packard Pokes At on Atheism TV at youtube.com/Atheism TV, and, as always, on youtube.com/Packard Pokes At. Come to the live show and chat with us on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time on vonlive.tv/Packard Pokes At. See you there!
Do you really like Packard Pokes At and want to promote the show? Then go to cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At. There are hundreds of items available, including hats, shirts, hoodies, and so much more. Every purchase from cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At helps support the show. Your Packard Pokes At coffee mug is waiting for you.
Do you want to stream Packard Pokes At on your iPhone or BlackBerry? Download Stitcher free today at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
You're on in 3, 2, 1.
This is Packard Pokes At, and I'm poking at your news. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fine edition of Packard Pokes At. I am your immutable and unmutable host, Packard Sonic, and joining us tonight from the far, far east coast is Joe Unseen.
Rosebud.
That was also the Ghostbusters cartoon.
Yes.
Couldn't catch that frisky ghost. And joining us from the far, far west coast, where the earthquakes roam, is Medusa Lance.
Hanging 10. Hello, folks.
Anyway, you saw the commercial for the Cafe Press for the, one of the items was a mug, and I just want to, I got it in early. I wasn't expecting
Show us the mug. Show us the mug.
Here it is. There it is. There's my nice coffee
That's a mighty
mug.
fine mug you got there.
That is a nice mug. It really is. This is not just some stupid label they stuck on here too. This is
said it's keen.
This is better than screen printed on here too. This is really nice. Sorry, a little commercial self-plug.
It was hand painted by child labor.
Probably was. But these are really, it's a really nice coffee mug. So if you guys want to go to cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At, pick yourself up one. It took a couple.
I want a hoodie.
Well, they've got hoodies too. Yeah, if you want a hoodie, they've got hoodies as well.
I got my T-shirt today.
Oh yeah, Joe got your T-shirt. You'll have to take a picture.
I'm wearing it right now, and that's all I'm wearing.
That's more information than I want to know right now, Joe.
You'd be hanging 11 right now.
All right, well,
it's the only way to podcast.
Yes, especially in these summer heats. Anyway.
Heats.
Right, let's get going for our first topic for this evening.
Building a better future, science and technology.
There is a story going around that some doctors had treated a girl with using the HIV virus. Yes and no. That's not exactly true. They didn't use the exact HIV. They used a modified form of the virus. They genetically re-engineered it so that way it would use proper T cells to fight this girl's lymphoma. The problem here with the story that's been going around is that they said it's something brand new that's only been tested on this one person. Actually, it's not. It's been tested on several new people. Or actually, it's been around for a while, and it's just starting to get out to the general public as far as testing. I mean, for human testing anyway. It's really interesting the fact that they were able to take the HIV virus, which, if you talk to a religious nut, they say it's a curse from God. You know what? Fuck that. If we found a way to take a T cell, a proper T cell, re-engineer it, this virus, and re-engineer it so it works for us. I think that's cool. I think that's damn cool. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw this video getting tweeted around earlier, I think late last week, but I didn't watch it until today. It's definitely exciting, at least the way the video presents the results on this one patient.
Yes.
But Dave provided us with a follow-up article that went further into detail about this kind of treatment. And while it worked for this one patient, and she no longer has leukemia, which is wonderful, it has not been successful for every patient they tried it on.
Right.
But the fact that it's been successful in some of them is definitely promising. So there needs to be further testing and further refinement of the treatment.
Right. There's no cure-all for anything. It doesn't matter who it is. I mean, even aspirin can be doesn't work for everybody. In some cases, aspirin can kill some people. Just like this didn't work for everybody, it's eventually going to work for a broader sense of the population once they get it worked the bugs out of it anyway.
Well, prayer always works.
No, don't go there.
Yeah, we know how well prayer works.
That's why they call it medical practice.
Yeah.
Exactly. If the
I know
doctor's
it's
such
an
an
old
expert, why
joke,
does he need to
but-
practice?
Yeah.
That's
don't wanna
kind of
put-
my thoughts on the issue.
Yeah,
You know.
it's like they say, I don't want a plastic surgeon, I want a real surgeon. No, that's never mind. That's right.
But take my wife.
Right.
Please.
Medusa, your thoughts on this, please.
Well, those kind of were my thoughts. It's a stepping stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place to begin, and I have no doubt that biochemists are working on it to refine it, because this disease has been a scourge the world over, and any attempts at a cure are to be lauded. So, yeah, I'm really thrilled to see that they're able to do this kind of research.
Yeah, it's nice the fact that they can get this. This is
Get the funding. Think of the problem of getting the funding to do this and finding the right patients that will let you do it. You know,
Well, that is
it's
part of it,
very
too.
complicated. You know.
Yes. The interesting part about this is they're using it to treat cancers like leukemia, namely leukemia and lymphoma, since those are the main ones that are the biggest killers out there right now as far as the cancer field. So, speaking of, anything really.
I read the firefighters.
That's where we're getting
Speaking of what you mentioned earlier.
Speaking of what somebody mentioned earlier, if you're dealing with a situation, you're in a fire. Well, not you, I hope, or anybody.
So if you're running into a fire.
If you're running into a fire, if you're wearing a yellow uniform and you're running into a fire, that means you're a firefighter. And firefighters, your job is dangerous. Just running into a fire alone is dangerous enough. But when you don't know the layout of the room that you're going into, that's dangerous. That alone can add more problems to your situation. They're coming out with a virtual reality display that it fits inside the helmet. So this way, when you are, when the firefighter is out there and he's trying to find his way in the fire, it gives him a digital display of the temperature of the room and the layout of the room. But the problem is with this thing right now is it has a long cord. It has to extend all the way back out to the truck. So the limit of the firefighters is there. They can't explore the whole house, especially if they have to, save somebody or whatever. But eventually, as as all technology goes, it does get smaller. As it gets smaller, hopefully that the heads-up displays and whatnot will be something they can wear on their body, or like carrying a cell phone. So this way, all this information that they're going to need is going to be placed right inside their helmet, and they won't have to worry about being tethered. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, this technology uses infrared sensors to create a 3D model of the scene in front of them and then show it to them on a heads-up display. They're hoping to incorporate lasers that can see through smoke, because infrared sensors sometimes are clouded by the smoke.
Yep.
And you mentioned that it's tethered to the truck outside. This article is written in Austria, and I guess it's a European technology that's coming up.
Yep.
And
It's
there
called
they actually...
sorry, it's called Profitex.
Right.
Yeah, it was developed in the Vienna University of Technology in Austria.
I don't know what American firefighters do, but I guess over there they tether the firemen to the truck anyway for safety, so they can get back out of a building if they had to.
Right.
And so they just ran the fiber optic cable through the tether. And the fire chief can sit in the truck and see what all his firemen are doing and see the layout of the building and actually make decisions like a quarterback, and you help here, you help there. Some of this technology can even see fire through the walls, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Now the thing is that there's an old TV show. It's called Emergency. They just started playing this. I used to watch this when I was a kid. I actually had the lunchbox and everything like that. It said Emergency on it.
That was in the late 70s. They were in the little fire truck.
Yeah, well, it was just a lunchbox, just a fire. It was just a regular lunchbox. Had the fire truck painted on there. And one of the shows I happened to catch, they had the guy go inside there, but they were let him go in on a rope in a fire. Okay, let's think about that for a second. A rope on a fire? I don't. That's a bit crazy, because rope burns. But yeah. So anyway,
I remember that show. I used to watch that show.
Yeah, it was a fun show. I mean, I'm starting to get into watch it occasionally now and then too. But I didn't realize when you're a kid, you watch certain shows, you don't realize the complex issues they're actually dealing with. And this one, there was actually more to the story than what I remembered as a kid. Medusa, your thoughts?
You guys have pretty much covered the technology aspect of this. What strikes me about this technology is I used to work with a nurse who worked in a burn unit, and I don't have to tell you how much suffering goes on in a burn unit. And whatever kind of technology they're able to come up with to save lives and suffering is laudable as well.
Right. It was presented on a paper at the project called the Augmented Human Conference in Stuttgart, Germany, this last March.
It's almost like a hologram, Packard.
As a matter of course it does, but it's in the heads-up display. It's not exactly a hologram, because a hologram would imply that there's a floating form sitting in front of you. This just tells you the layout of the room and everything.
Well, that is helpful, and I don't know how effective it would be in locating people, but that would be.
Well, yeah, it would, because if you can see the layout of the room, if they're put lasers in there, so this way laser's going to come back and bounce off the solid objects, and it'll, kind of like a bat, it sends out a signal, bing, come back, or a radar detector or radar gun, whatever it is. Something like that, so you can get a sense of what's in the room, because not everybody keeps the room the same size. Let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
Please don't reveal the secret ending to your friends. Don't spoil the big surprise. You won't believe your eyes.
We're going to be talking about the movie Epic. No, not the Epic movie. That was a whole other movie. That was a parody movie of a bunch of other movies. This one was actually made by the same people who brought to you Ice Age and Rio. Now, I got to watch this afternoon, and Joe was supposed to watch it this sometime in the last few days. Anyway, I kind of liked it, but there was so much religious overtones in.
Really?
I saw it left and right. I mean, I saw the religious overtones in it. So I was sitting here. I had to pause it several times just to go, that part I couldn't get past. But overall, the video was not bad. The graphics were top rate, I think. I mean, for the fact that this made in 2013, it's got some. They got some good actors on there, and I kind of liked it overall. But what do you think? What did you think, Joe?
Yeah, I watched it last night. It was okay. It wasn't the greatest. I kind of got towards the end and I was like, okay, I'm done watching this. But yeah, I mean, it starred the chick from Les Miserables and the dude from The Hunger Games, and they had what was it? Beyonce played the queen, but she was only in it for a little while, and then they had Colin Farrell, so that made up the whole cast. Yeah, and it followed kind of, I thought, like the Star Wars formula. Kind of like there was a Han, there was a Luke, there was a princess, there was a Darth Vader. It was good versus evil kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely good versus evil.
Yeah, the only thing it was missing was Chewbacca. I couldn't find a Chewbacca in the story, but
definitely there was no Chewbacca in this one. But
yeah, I mean, I like the animated films. Every studio now makes an animated film at least once a year, and the best ones are made by Pixar, I think.
Yeah.
This studio, they made Ice Age. I didn't really watch any of the Ice Age movies.
Oh, you didn't see any of the Ice Age movies? Oh, those are great.
No. I saw Rio. Rio was really good.
I haven't seen Rio yet.
This movie is just okay. I was like, I also saw Monsters, Inc. this spring, and that's really good. That's an excellent movie. Everybody should go see that.
Oh, yeah, that's because that's by Pixar. The thing is, though, the part of the story that I liked was the relationship between the father and the daughter. The mother was not in this picture because she had died, apparently. So there was no mother scene in this. There's not enough, I think, in my personal opinion, there's not enough movies where they have a father-daughter or father-son relationship stuff. Usually if it's movies like this, it's usually father-son. But a father-daughter relationship is not seen all that often. My daughter was watching. We're right towards the beginning. She goes, "Oh my gosh, that's you!" That's
so. And I can see what she's talking about.
Yes, all the computer screens and everything in there. Yes, it was something else. But
that and you chase little people through the forest.
Yeah, on my days off, absolutely. That's exactly what I do. But on a On a scale of 1 to 10, or scale of 1 to 5, actually, what would you give this movie?
I'd say it was average. It was probably 5.
5? You give it a 5 out of 5?
Well, isn't it 5 out of 10?
No, it's 1 out of 5. 1 to 5.
3 then.
3? I'd probably give it a 3.5. But the religious overtones are just...
I didn't see the religious stuff.
Oh.
What do you mean? What religion?
Right.
You mean like the dying and rebirth thing?
No, not that part. Right towards the beginning. You can't see it. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean you can't believe it. And that kind of thing. That right towards the beginning, it's like...
Oh.
Yeah, so I was like...
Well, yeah, I mean... Yeah, I guess kind of, but the father was kind of a scientist. He was
I gave him
data
credit for
and
that.
proof while people were laughing at him. So
right, I got.
I saw the new Man of Steel movie. If you want to talk about religious overtones, oh my goodness,
I've been hearing
Dave
about
wasn't
that.
kidding.
Yeah, no, I've heard about that. No, I was just going to say that even though they had the religious overtones in there, I mean. The scientist in this, at least he was trying to prove it. I give him credit for that. That was the saving grace of, as it were, the saving grace of the father. That he said, "Oh, just because you can't see doesn't mean you can't believe it." But he said, but it's not like he was forcing this on her. He was working to prove it. So right. I give him credit for that at least. So,
right.
Medusa, you didn't get a chance to see this movie, did you at all? Or?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it, so I'll have to
go see Monsters University instead.
Yeah, go watch. Yeah, but if you're gonna go see a movie, go watch Monsters U.
Okay.
I think that I haven't seen it yet myself, but I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. And the first Monsters movie I thought was good also. So.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, but it beats this by and large overall. All right.
Oh, take your advice.
All right, very good. All right, well let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
They got paid for their sound bites and sold their TV movie rights.
The Supreme Court has ruled. Doma is dead. And it's about damn time. I have been waiting for this day. Now the only problem with this is it doesn't kill the fact that everybody can get married everywhere. There are states out there still that are holdouts. Wisconsin being one of them, that you cannot be legally married. You can get married in only a small portion of the states. New York, for example, legalized same-sex marriage in 2011. Vermont, 2009. New Hampshire.
That's because New York's better than the other states.
Well, Vermont got it ahead of time, in 2009.
Yeah, and they like to rub their noses in it.
Yes, they do. And so did New Hampshire back in 2009, and it took effect back in January 2010. Massachusetts did this back in 2003, and it took effect in 2004. Massachusetts, it's going to take effect. It took effect back in May. Connecticut, 2008. And the list goes on and on. There will be links at packardpokes@wordpress.com. It shows a map of all the states and has a list of which state you're in if you can. But the interesting part about this is now that Doma is dead, if somebody wants to be married, and if they're gay and they want to be married, 2 men, 2 women, they want, and they live in a state like Wisconsin, for example, or New Mexico or Arizona or some of these other places that don't allow gay marriage to be thought of as legal for that matter, they can go up and they can sue the state government. Now that the state government can be sued on this, all they got to go is, well, the federal government says that same-sex marriage is legal. It may take a little bit of doing because some of it's written into their constitutions, but the state constitutions can be changed. Not easily, but it can be changed. And I'm still looking forward to see all the states allow gay marriage everywhere. Joe, your thoughts?
Well, there was 2 rulings on this. The first one shot down DOMA.
All right.
And that opens up same-sex marriages getting the benefit of federal benefits, like straight marriage from the federal government.
Yeah.
Then the second ruling shot down Prop 8, which said that California wasn't allowed to restrict it.
Right.
So now that kind of sets a precedent for the other states that have actively restricted it. It's going to be harder for those states to justify the laws on their books, knowing that the Supreme Court has shot down another state for trying to do the same thing.
Yes.
So it's hopefully cracking open the door for nationwide equality. We'll see where it goes from here, because it was a great day when that came down.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, we
absolutely.
talked about this on the show back in the spring when they were hearing arguments on this.
Yep.
And we said on the show back then, we're like, oh, can't wait to see what happens. Well, here it is. This is what happened, and it turned out good.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Absolutely. Medusa, your thoughts?
Well, I've been getting a lot of calls from my LGBT friends and saying, Jenny, what does this mean? Practically, what if I go to Hawaii and get married? And does Utah recognize my marriage? I mean...
Well, Hawaii, actually, right now, Hawaii they legalized civilized unions back in 2012. But Hawaii is still banned same-sex marriage in 1998. So it's
I was just using that as an example.
Oh, all right, yeah, okay. But just for factual
California, then.
Ah.
So you get married in the sunny state of California. You're still married in Utah.
Yes. Well, technically, yeah.
Yeah.
The state may not want to recognize it, but all they got to do is they may all have to do
Supreme Court.
Yep. Yeah. Just go. Yeah. They have to, the state court. They'll have to take it to court.
You have to defer to them. I mean, that's why they're there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the thing is, there was some dissent on this thing. Anthony Scalia, for example, he does not like it. You know why? And I challenge anybody out there that is anti-gay or gay marriage. I got to ask, what is it about gay marriage that freaks you out? What?
I know.
Why do you think it's going to affect your marriage? If you can give me one good answer why it's going to affect your personal marriage or anybody's right to get married, tell me. You show me what those reasons are.
Well, what I say is go ahead and let them get married and get divorced like everybody else.
Right. Hey, I have no problem with
that. That makes it very real to a lot of people.
Yes, it does.
Few words, and they clearly get the message. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
Join the party.
Right.
50% of all unions are dissolved. Please join us. I mean, I spent 5 years in divorce court. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Joe,
you had something you wanted to add on that?
Oh, yeah. Medusa, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the shooting down of DOMA make it so that, like, let's say somebody who lives in a state where it's not legal can go to a state where it is legal, get married, come back to their home state, and still get the benefits from the federal government, like the taxes and all that? Yeah, so it pretty much eliminates. All they have to do is go to a state where it's legal, boom, come back, and they won't get the state benefits, but whatever.
Yeah, the thing is, most people don't see when the Supreme Court rules on things. Generally, you don't see widespread activity on it right away. I mean, it doesn't affect people immediately. However, I heard a story this morning on one of my podcasts I would listen to that somebody, as soon as the ruling came down, a guy took a copy of the ruling, ran five or six blocks down to immigration, where a guy who was legally married to another man in New York State, but because he was going to be deported, they were going to kick him out because his visa had ran out or whatever. Even though he was legally married, the federal government didn't recognize that marriage. Now that the federal government has recognized the marriage, he was actually ran down there, handed them the papers where it said the federal government recognizes this marriage, and the guy was able to stay in this country.
I'll be darned.
Yes, and
I would just like to. I would like to add that I'm available to be married to anyone for $10,000.
I think that's illegal, actually. Actually, you're not, Joe, because you're already married.
Oh, that's
we'll go on eBay. Oh, yeah, we got to go to Utah.
Now, myself, I am. You just.
Come on.
Right there. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. You could end up in jail, and then you have a whole new set of problems.
Boy, and how.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that want to marry you in jail on all the wrong ways.
Right, exactly. Speaking of getting people in tight places, a Dutch woman kept her 83-year-old mother in a freezer for a week because she couldn't bring herself to say goodbye, Mom. I mean, I've lost both my parents over the years, and I would never want to keep them around like that. I mean, some people do some kind of crazy stuff every once in a while, but sticking your mom in the freezer, that's a little on the bizarre side. I mean, where are you going to keep the pizza? Move over to the chickpeas. Here's place mom in there. She turns out she only kept her in there for about a week, and then people are like, "Oh, I can't keep this secret anymore," and they turned her in. So yeah, you don't want to keep dear mom or dear dad around in the freezer just because you're missing them. I mean, it's a little strange. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, with your mother in the freezer, there's little room for fish sticks. I mean, clearly
Mom
this
is
woman
the fish stick at this point.
She had very poor skills at prioritizing because,
Yeah.
No, but really, I mean, this is really sad. She lived with her mother for 17 years, taking care of her.
Mm-hmm.
She told the police she couldn't say goodbye to her mom. And what's really crazy is the prosecutor now has to decide whether or not to file charges because, as the article mentioned, it's illegal to store human bodies in freezers, at least in the Netherlands where this happened.
Right.
And so I guess you need a special permit or something for something like that. Like,
well, because freezers, like the ones that a commercial freezer, like you could buy, or I could buy, or Medusa could buy, they don't stay cold enough. I mean, they stay cold, but they don't get super cold. And they have bodies when they're refrigerated, and like at the morgue or whatever, they kept at a certain temperature, so this way they don't, smell. So yeah, it's quite a bizarre story. Medusa, your thoughts?
It reminds me of a case I heard about 10 years ago. A guy killed a girl and rented a U-Haul, put a big freezer in it, and kept her in it, and moved in with his mom.
Ew.
And happened in California,
Oh my goodness.
Go figure.
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer did the same thing, He kept body parts in the freezer and the refrigerator and everything like that. So.
Everywhere. He painted them. So, people do the darndest things, you know. Nothing amazes me that people do anymore because...
If she had killed her mother and then stuffed in the freezer, that'd be a whole different story. But the mother just, passed away natural causes, I'm assuming.
She was 83 years old.
Yeah, 83 years old. I mean...
There was an old man whose wife died, and he loved her.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he loved her. But he embalmed her and put her next to him in bed and slept with her for 15 years and kept on fixing her.
What? Oh, you gotta find me that story and send that to me.
I'll find you that story.
Wow, that's just crazy.
That'd be a gift.
That's
that went on for about 20 years.
Wow, that's
he mummified her.
Yikes! I've heard of stories like that. There was a movie set. They were doing a horror movie, and they thought they had it. What happened was they had a body. They went to hang it, like it was a hanging body. They thought it was just a prop. Turns out it was a real dead body.
And oh my god!
Yeah, people do all kinds of weird things with dead bodies. It just
they can't surprise us anymore.
No,
we can just slack our jaws in amazement.
Yeah, I'm not surprised much anymore. Oh, anyway, let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.
Usually on the show we take this time to take a religious nut job and bash them on the rocks, just like they do with the babies in the Bible. There, you don't believe me? Look that up. But tonight we're not going to bash any religious people. We're going to actually talk about something positive for a change. You're going to talk about the recoveringfromreligion.org site. It's called the Hotline Project. They're basically taking the model of the suicide hotlines and the people who have drug addiction hotlines, and they are trying to get together for people who are having doubts and they would like to talk to somebody. The way the Republicans and the right-wing nut jobs and the religious nut jobs are pushing this story, it's like the liberals are trying to convert the religious people to atheism, and it's like, first of all, you can't convert someone to atheism. Atheism, you just can't do it. I mean, people who come to atheism come to it on their own because they come to conclusion that that the stuff that they believe is garbage. And many of the people that I've talked to and I've known over the years that have had religion or were religious at one time, this is how they came out of religion, because they actually studied it and they sat down and looked at it and goes, you know what, this is crap. this is really crap. But the problem is that most of these people have no one to turn to. Because they know that if they turn to their wife, their husband, their family in any way, shape, or form, they'll be ostracized. And that, right there, is unacceptable. But with this, because religion, and I think religion is a mental disease, gets in there and it poisons these people's minds against people who have lost their faith. And I am just so glad that something like this is, at least they're working to get it started. They were supposed to raise up to $30,000 by June 30th. So I think the next 2 days, or the last couple days, and it's going to have up to 40 counselors. I think you can sign up online to sign up to volunteer on this. It'd be kind of interesting to call, to talk to somebody like this. But overall, if you're out there and you are having a problem trying to find someone to talk to, this would be a great thing to start off with. Joe, your thoughts?
I'd call up and be like, I killed Jesus. What do I do? I don't know where to hide the body. And they'd be like, all right, listen, this is what you need to do. No. Yeah. This is an interesting idea. And I think if the recovering from religion hotline is not available, if they wind up not raising the money, there's always the internet.
Yes.
It's the atheist playground. You can always find other atheists to talk to there. But yeah, they're right now trying to raise the money, and they want to get it up and running by the holiday season, which is understandable because a lot of people
are terrible.
That's when religion is being bantied about the most. So.
Oh yeah, it's really being the holidays. They're just shoving it down people's throats, and because during the holidays, usually that's when most people commit suicide because the family is either away or they've been ostracized from the family for sometimes something like this.
Yeah,
and so they need someone to turn to, someone to talk to.
I used to get a little cranky around the holiday season because I thought it was kind of silly, but now that I've learned more about the pagan history and how a lot of it was co-opted by religion, I enjoy it a lot more now that I know more about it, now that I know more of the history about it,
Oh, yeah.
And I learned all that from atheist videos, atheist websites, just doing a little bit of research. It's actually kind of funny, because the Bible actually says, like, don't cut down a tree and bring it into your house.
Yes, it does.
What does everybody do?
They cut down a tree and bring it in the house, yeah. When I was younger, I was actually into religion and everything. It's like, oh, you said you're not bringing the tree in there. And it's like, well, we don't worship the tree. It's like, that's not the point here, mother.
Sorry.
No, what did he say?
He said, learned it from atheist websites, then it can't be true.
Nice.
True.
Nice.
Well, it was your atheist website, dog.
Yes, exactly. Medusa, your thoughts?
You guys are out in left field. I mean, this is a good service for people to turn to, but
hopefully it comes to fruition anyway.
Yeah, if somebody's really, really searching and they're not internet savvy, booyah. It's a place to go to. Yeah. It's a place to start. And I really think atheists need to be given much more credit. We do go through a spiritual journey, but it's like shedding, it's like a metamorphosis. We're turning into something that we were, which was a Christian. You've been in a pool, Packard. I know that.
I was in a pool?
Baptized in a pool.
Oh, well, it wasn't a pool. It was more like a cattle trough, really.
I was in a pool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, blue pool. Had to burn all my Led Zeppelin albums. I cry about that now.
Yeah.
But still, it is a good resource for people out there to turn to.
Yeah. At least I'm hoping it will, because I don't know if it's been activated yet. When it comes to become activated, then I will put that up on the channel here somewhere and say
do so.
Yeah,
because my biggest problem is coming out to my parents. It'd be easier to come out gay to my parents than it would be an atheist.
Oh yeah, I actually saw a cartoon someone had put up. They say, "Oh, Mom, I'm gay." What, you're gay? And they say, "Oh, then I'm something else." And something else is like, "Oh no, not really. I'm just an atheist." It's like, oh, okay. I wish I could remember all it was.
You're anything but that.
Anything but that. It's like, oh, the other stuff was accepted, but that. It's like, no. It's like, it doesn't affect them. But they get to this in their mind. They think it is. All right. Well, anyway, let's get into our discussion for this evening. Tonight's topic is mistakes. Not people make mistakes. You know why? Because, well, we're human. People make mistakes. Anybody can make a mistake. But supposedly God doesn't make mistakes. Or does he? Now, if we go back and we actually look at the Bible, now, when God supposedly made Adam and Eve, he put the tree of knowledge in the middle of it, said, don't eat from it. So, what's the first thing he does? The people do? They go and eat from it. Mistake number one, put in a tree in arm's reach. If, let's say, I was God, and I had a tree of knowledge, and I said, don't eat from it, I'd put up fencing, I'd put it in another part of it, or better yet, don't even put it in the goddamn garden. I mean, that's like saying, here's a bottle of pills, don't eat them, you can shake them all you want, but don't eat them. Oh, they look so colorful. Ooh, they look like they might even be tasty.
What you're saying is that on the 8th day, God should have created razor wire?
It's right. That should have been on the first day. God creates razor wire, then he creates the planet.
On the 9th day, he electrified it.
Yeah. No, that's the 10th day. The 9th day, he was still trying to string it out. So.
In the 11th day, he flooded it.
Right, then shorting out the wire, screwing everything up. But anyway, then God supposedly had let everybody just do their own thing, and then he floods out the world because he didn't like what he did. If you're all-powerful God, you would have known this is the direction they were going to do. So you've made another mistake. There is a whole list of mistakes that God has made. I found it at the Rational Wiki. It's rationalwiki.org /wiki/list of mistakes made by God. I'll put it in the link description at packardpokes@wordpress.com. But for right now, let's get on to our timer here. And the timer will be right over here. There it is. There we go. And we'll start with Medusa. Medusa, your time starts now.
Me first?
You're first, yes.
What did I do to deserve that?
You're I shook some magic dice, and I said, you're going first. Go.
That's religion.
Yes.
You lost the coin toss.
Yes, you lost the coin toss. There you go.
I didn't know there was a coin toss.
You should have called heads.
You should. Exactly. Should have called heads before the end of the show. Anyway, please.
Now I forgot the topic.
Does God make mistakes?
Does God make mistakes?
Yes, he makes... No.
It's a trick question. It's like, wait, what?
It is. No. There is no God. So how can he make a mistake? That is my argument. And it is nullifying.
Yeah, well, I understand that. I don't believe there's a God either. But if there was a God, let's just
pretend.
We're just pretending. We're just pretending there's a God. Now, does God make mistakes?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
And I have an example.
Okay.
The duck-billed platypus.
Yeah.
That gives birth, that urinates, and defecates all out of one hole.
Yeah.
Now that is wrong.
Plus it's a mammal that lays eggs and is poisonous.
Thank you. That is a mistake.
Yeah.
You put all the mistakes in
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, they're poisonous. Yes, they are poisonous.
Man, I was
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, you don't want one because they bite you.
I don't want one now.
And the thing is with Adam and Eve, now he makes Adam and Eve, right? But he takes a rib from Adam and makes Eve. No, just poof out of existence like he did with Adam. So basically, I've heard this argument. It's a great argument that since that God made Adam or Eve out of Adam's rib, they have the same DNA. So basically, it's like masturbation. He's just doing himself at that point. So and then they're having kids. Oh my gosh, where does it stop? What are your thoughts on this, Joe?
Yeah, I actually Googled this question, and the first thing that came up was gotquestions.org.
Yeah, I saw that one.
You saw that? It said, "Make no mistake about it, God makes no mistakes.
Yeah,
great is the Lord, and greatly be he praised, and his greatness is unsearchable." And that's from Psalms 145:3. The next Google search was awesome because it was a list on Rational Wiki of all the mistakes that God has made.
Yeah, that's the one I've. Yeah, that's what I've got pulled up right here. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool because it listed ones from Scripture, ones from nature, assuming that there is a God and God created nature.
Right.
It mentioned the one that you brought up, like, why does he need an object, a physical object like dust or a rib to create something when he can poof the universe into existence?
Right.
Other
maybe he had a bad
examples-
burrito. Maybe he had a bad burrito, and it just kind of like it just came out the early end. Because you ever have a bad burrito? Sometimes you get those chunks in there. You're like so.
Yeah.
Sometimes relationships don't work out.
I've created many universes after bad burritos.
Yes, I have too.
Another example that Rational Wiki gave, which I thought was kind of clever, it said that if nature is intelligently designed, then why do whales and dolphins, why don't they have gills? Yeah. Why do they have to come up to the surface to breathe? It's almost like they evolved from an animal that breathed there anyway. Oh, wait, they did.
Yes, exactly.
So,
and let's not even talk about the reproductive system. I mean, why would any god put our pleasure centers right there in the middle of our legs, and then we have to piss out of it, and then put the waste disposal right next to it? I don't think so. I mean, it would have been. No, I'm serious. I am serious here, because if you're gonna, if you were, of course it's gross. These people. That's what these religious people believe. That the thing is, though, if I would put it somewhere that it's a little bit more accessible, so it's not going to get damaged easily, and two, so waste products don't come out of it or come out near it. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
I would put the sexual organs on the face. Boom. Get busy.
Every time you kiss, you're making out. Oink, oink, oink.
Now, are you talking about like something flawed in God's design, or a movie you have in your private collection?
Well, that too. But anyway,
I'm a little confused here.
So are we. That's why we're all together.
One of my favorite examples that I often bring up is the tornado thing. I mean, if God exists and he's all powerful and he doesn't make mistakes, then who destroys the churches when the tornado rips through the Bible Belt?
Right, exactly.
Because you could Google that. You can Google churches, tornado, image search, and boom, you got pictures of churches all over the Midwest, ripped in half, holes in their roofs, sometimes nothing left except a piece,
Oh, yeah.
And, God made no mistake. He wanted that church destroyed.
Exactly. And, and the thing is, it takes humans 9 months to have a baby, for example. I mean, while the rest of the animal kingdom, they can get it done in just a few weeks. That's... and when God goes looking for Cain and Abel, and he's like, "Hey, Cain, where's your brother?" What? Whoa, wait a minute. God doesn't know? Excuse me? So much for being...
Chalk that up to a scriptural mistake.
Yeah, obviously. The thing is...
Kill the editor.
Yeah, kill the editor. The thing is, though, the mistakes that God's made is just abound. But, you talk to a religious person, they seem to think that their God can't make any mistakes. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, let's talk about the Tower of Babel for a second. If God didn't want us to work together, supposedly, and he he scrambles everybody's brains so no one can speak the same language. Well, you know what? We've got this thing called a space shuttle and a space station. So if Babel is so damn fiery important to stop, why doesn't God come down again and crash down every space shuttle, crash down every space station, every satellite we put into orbit? Why? Because there is no fucking God. I've said it.
Thank you.
Prove it to me that there is.
We should call it the International Space Station of Babel.
Hey, you know what? Might as well, because it's an international space station. It's
it
not
is.
just. It's
we
not
all
just
speak
ours.
different languages.
That's right. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, and the thing is, what's funny is about that. It just off on a tangent here, that the Americans, before they go up, they have to learn all these other languages so they can talk to them. These other people, they don't have to learn they don't have to learn American or the other languages. So the Americans said they're going, I gotta translate for everybody. So
there's Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they use.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why the lone cosmonaut always hangs out in the Russian module, which smells funny and has loud noises. And all the Americans hang out by the space hatch and make music videos with a Canadian guy.
Oh yeah, exactly. and let's talk about diseases and everything. They'll say, "Oh no, the devil brings diseases." I thought the devil I thought the God made everything, not the devil. The devil can't create anything. Anyway, we're done. So we're that's our time.
We could go into overtime when it's your tangent.
No, I try not to. I just lost track of the time with the clock here, actually. But
We just did.
yeah, as far as intelligent design and your God making no mistakes, well, wake up. Have a fucking clue. There is no God that you can prove. All right? Prove it to me. Prove there's a God. I have not come across anybody that has come across any piece of evidence that they can give me that there is a God of any kind. Not the flying spaghetti monster, not a omnipotent one, not even Thor. I would love to have Thor, actually.
What about all the Jesuses in prison?
Oh yeah, the Jesus in prison. Yeah, none of those either. So, but anyway. All
Now,
right.
does Jesus appear on Prison Toast?
Yeah, I wonder. All right, anyway, let's get into our next topic for this evening. And tonight's funny tweet comes from Social Biz Buzz. That's SocialBizBuzz. And he says, Chuck E. Cheese, because it's never too early to introduce your children to poor nutrition and gambling.
Nice.
I never thought of it that way.
Nice.
And Vegas is not for kids.
Yeah, well, this isn't exactly Vegas, but I mean, if you ever stepped into a Chuck E. Cheese or a restaurant that's similar to it, then they've got
scary.
Yeah, it is, because they got the games everywhere. It's like, oh, let's put our money into the machine, and we'll see if we can whack the mole and get prizes. You know, that's a form of gambling. It really
the parents get hammered. The kids crawl around in disease-infested ball pits.
We're advocating violence between children to solve arguments and whatnot.
Yeah.
He hit me, so hit him back.
Right. They hit me, so hit them back. Yeah.
Don't be a sissy.
Those ball pits, like Medusa mentioned, there have been instances in the past. I think it's happened a few times. I'm not sure, but they've actually found like needles and things in those ball pits.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a number of years ago. I don't know if it was true or not, but I remember hearing about it. So.
I knew a guy that worked at a Burger King, and they had a ball pit, and one of his friends stopped by and jumped in the ball pit, and he said, "Dude, get out of there. Kids lose their diapers in there all the time."
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
That stuff is
Oh,
nasty. I'll tell you honestly, I've been in them myself. Those are fun. They are fun.
Did you lose any needles in there?
No, I didn't lose any needles in there. I left
The needle was still in your pocket when you got back out?
Yeah, that's right. No, I left it at the table next to my poor nutritional cheese pizza.
Yeah.
I like to take the cheese from the pizza and I slurp it up and then I inject it directly into my veins because I don't have enough cholesterol in there yet. So anyway,
Well, ball pits aren't fun unless you're high.
yeah. I think it's like swimming in dry water myself, but that's just me. Let's get into our next topic. Hey, you guys! Our shout out tonight comes from Medusa. Shout out is for Anarchy in the SK. That's ANARCHYINTHESK. Medusa, can you tell us a little bit about Anarchy in the SK?
Well, he's kind of a quiet guy. I'm just getting to know him. He's not got a lot of tweets, so I kind of encourage him to get out there and give his opinion. He's a little shy about giving his opinion. He doesn't know that atheists own Twitter.
Pretty much we do.
Pretty much, dang it. So
I only wish it was completely true, but...
Yes, I'm trying to encourage him to tweet more, give his opinion more. He's a really nice guy, accessible, down to earth, you know.
Yeah, it looks like he's posted a few things from Facebook. It looks like he's connected his Facebook there, so you may get a mention to him one way or the other. But
I will.
He says he's a loving dad, iron junkie. Much, I guess he's got pictures of weights on his page there. I think maybe he's like, Arr! He's a weightlifter.
Well, you know what kind of guys I go for. And he's cute too.
I wouldn't know that. That's not my purview. He's wearing a hat, you know, inside, so that throws me off right away. I think when I see anybody wearing a hat inside the house, I think Meg.
He's atheist in training. We'll get him in line.
Yeah, well, he says he's a hardcore atheist. Maybe he's as hardcore as those iron weights he lifts. I don't know, but
we'll see.
But give him he lists his Facebook page right there also. So if you want to give him a follow, tell him you heard him on the show. It's ANARCHYINTHESK. So give him a follow. Tell him you heard him on the show. And give him a shout. Okay.
He needs a few more followers.
Yes, he needs more followers. Definitely needs more followers. Okay, let's get into our, let's see here. Well, that's it, actually. Ha! It was such a fun show. I didn't want it to end. Anyway.
I know. It went by so fast.
Yes, it did. It went by really fast. But anyway, if you want to get in contact with us, and we know you do, because if you want to send us email, tweet at us, or
money,
or send us money, or you want to buy a nice coffee mug like this one. This is really nice. You just go to. We'll give you all that information how to do that right now.
Would you like to contact us? Your host, Packard Sonic, and his very honored and crazy co-hosts, with occasional guest hosts, enjoy your comments or suggestions. You can reach us 28 hours a day, 8 days a week on A Can on a String, Smoke Signals, Star Trek Communicator? Those may not work, but you can contact us on Twitter as Packard Pokes At, and by email at packardpokesat@gmail.com. You can also listen and join in the conversation live Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time on vonlive.tv/PackardPokesAt. You can find past shows on iTunes, YouTube, Mixler Radio, and Stitcher Radio. Help us out by rating, commenting, subscribing, retweeting, and reposting the show wherever you can. Click the like button on Facebook/PackardPokesAt to join in the conversation. Would you like to help keep the show running and pick up some awesome Packard Pokes At merchandise? Visit cafepress.com/PackardPokesAt today and buy hats, shirts, or one of over 300 other items that are also available. Visit packardpokesat.wordpress.com for links to the news articles covered tonight and more information on this or other episodes. We hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for listening and your support.
Joe, are you out of breath?
Wow, that was a mouthful.
Yeah, you
conditioning my lungs.
I guess so. Yeah, those inhalers I sent you must be working.
Yeah. In a few weeks, I'll be able to play the bagpipes.
It's the specialized Packard Pokes At inhalers. No, you can't get those at the store. We are going to be off next week because we're going on vacation and everybody else needs to take a little decompression and break from the show. I would like to thank everybody for coming and coming to the live show Friday nights 9 p.m. Just come and join us on vonlive.tv and we'll see you then. But until then, we'll see you in 2 weeks. So have fun, enjoy the 4th of July weekend, and we will see you the second week of July. Until then, this has been Packard Pokes At. We just poked at your news.
And that's a wrap.